Good afternoon everyone and welcome back to India Rain Rocks. So today is the day that I like to call the start of my Louis week, because I am just on my way to get in the car to drive to Manchester to go and meet Louis later on this evening at his Faith in the Future album signing, and I literally cannot wait. I have not seen this man. Well, I've not seen this man since like April, but I haven't spoken to him properly since like 2020 when he did his Walls album signing. And if you think about it, you know, 2.5 years, maybe well, longer than that, nearly 3 years since I've last spoken to Louis. It's just a long time and I've really missed him and I literally cannot wait to see him. So obviously I do have the Manchester signing this evening. We're literally going to be setting off in just a moment. But I also have the Sheffield and Newcastle signing tomorrow, which is all very exciting. And then next week I have 3 Prism shows, again, all very exciting, and then this be the end of my Louis week. And now you can see why I call it Louis week, because I'm spending the majority of my week with this man and I can't wait. I haven't done this since Walls era yet again, where that was also an amazing week with all of my friends. I get to do it again this time round and I'm just really grateful for Louis for just doing these things that allows me to sort of make these memories and share my experiences with you guys, because that's literally all I ever do this for, is just to share as much of my life with these boys, with you guys, and I literally just can't wait. Morning everyone and welcome to day 2 of my little mini Louis signing tour. As you can see behind me, we're actually in a different car because yesterday we broke down on the way to Manchester, hence why there wasn't really much update between the signing yesterday, because we broke down on the M62, which was a nightmare. Managed to get ourselves into Manchester via an Uber to get to the signing. Luckily Louis was an hour late to the signing, and I was probably about an hour and a half late to the signing myself, so I literally just got there as the queue was sort of like dying down, so I was probably only waiting like half an hour to meet Louis, which was so crazy. Like, emotions were heightened. I had a mini breakdown in the car, but it was all fine, it all worked out. I managed to meet Louis yesterday, which is really great. Yesterday when I met him in Manchester, I kind of had a little bit like of a script planned in my head of what I was going to say to him, and then obviously with the car breaking down I thought I'm just going to tell him that because that's really funny, see what he says. And his answer to me telling him that the car broke down was, because I said to him, I was like, oh, thank you for being late today because our car broke down on the way down here and I didn't think I was going to be able to make it. And he was like, oh right, okay, well yeah, we were late just for you, yeah, it was just for you. So we were laughing, and then he signed my CD, and then he said, to be fair, we did get stuck in traffic ourselves. And I was like, oh really? And I was like, yeah. So, and then he handed me my CD back. I was like, oh thank you so much, I'll see you tomorrow. And he was like, oh thanks love, yeah, see you tomorrow. So yeah, it was a really nice little interaction. I had a really good day. I managed, when I first got to the queue as well, I actually knew some people who were at the back, so luckily I wasn't by myself, so I was able to talk to people a little bit before I went in, so kind of the nerves got taken away a little bit. But yeah, yesterday was a really great day. I'm really happy I was able to make it even when I was very uncertain, and today I'm just happy I'm going to be able to make the Sheffield and Newcastle signings as well. It was really nice yesterday as well, because like people were obviously coming out of the signing like crying and things because of just meeting Louis, and like I really kind of like, in a really nice way, I like seeing people like that, because it's just so nice to see people so happy. And obviously even after all these years, people are obviously still, you know, like emotions are still high when they're meeting the boys, and it's just really nice to see people sort of like so happy and literally like living their dream and like finally meeting one of their favourite people. It's so nice. and then I just like saw people I knew, so I started talking to them, and then we just ended up getting in the queue and meeting Louis. But anyway, this meeting yet again was absolutely fab. It was really fun. I got up to Louis and we said hello to each other, and it was all very like, you know, how are you, blah blah blah. And I said to him, I was like, oh, how's your arm? So obviously he's broken his arm, and he was like, oh, it's all right, it's a bit sore, it's a bit sad type thing. And I was like, oh well, you're a bit of a shush. I said, well, you're a bit of a don, aren't you, really, doing these signings with a broken arm? And he was like, I am really, yeah, aren't I? I am. I'm a bit of a gangster. So we started laughing, and then I was like, oh, thank you, I'll see you later on in Newcastle. He said bye, and then I left, and that was, again, pretty much it. Short and sweet, really nice. It's just been really nice to see him again. Like I said yesterday, like I haven't had a proper conversation with him since 2020, and obviously I saw him on tour this year. I'm seeing him next week a couple of times, and then I'm seeing him next year on tour as well a few times. But it's just been really nice to sort of have these intimate moments with him again, and I'm really sad that like Newcastle's sort of my last signing, because I don't know when I'm going to have like this chance to have these little talks with him. But I'm just grateful that I'm able to do them anyway, especially with the situation with the car. Like literally this week, these last couple of days literally may not have even happened if it wasn't for us managing to get sorted with the car. So I'm just really happy that we managed to sort this out. Sorry for the lights, by the way. We are on our way. We're just going to quickly stop off at home before we go to Newcastle, and then we're going to jump straight back on the road, head to Newcastle for my last little meeting with Louis.